Hello everyone and welcome to the Signicat Mint webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start by introducing you to our Signicat experts on the panel who will be running the webinar today. First up, we have Gavin. He is the VAP Tribe Lead here at Signicat, and Robin, who is the Product Manager for Signicat Mint. So without further ado, please sit back and relax. We really hope you enjoy this session. At the end of the webinar, our experts will be answering your questions. Please use the Ask a Question function to submit your questions to Robin and Gavin. Over to you guys.
Great. Thanks so much, Alexis. So I'll take you through a few slides. We're really happy to show you all this amazing new product. And we'll first go through a quick intro of Signicat, and then we'll talk about Signicat Mint, this new product. We'll talk about a couple of use cases that this is applicable for, and then we'll go into a live demo. And then, of course, Q&A. So an intro to Signicat. In terms of the environment, we see the market is evolving with the rising demands. From a consumer perspective, onboarding is often unsuccessful, with 68% of consumers in the EU abandoning an onboarding. From a legislative and regulatory perspective, an increased demand for higher security. And of course, technology is not resting. Smartphones have given us usable and portable biometrics. AI is taking giant leaps. At the same time, fraud and financial crime is increasing with the new tech. Deep fakes and bots are wreaking havoc with many. With Signicat, what Signicat brings into the picture is trust across the digital identity lifecycle. From identifying individuals through EIDs, ID document and biometric verifications, lookups to gain further insight into the person or company, to orchestrating this all together, part of what we're going to show you today, to authenticating returning users with these same EIDs, biometrics, and managing access for these users, to signing contracts, including timestamping and sealing, and long-term archival. Signicat is the pan-European leader with global coverage in digital identity. We have more than 400 digital identity experts on staff. We integrate over 30 electronic EIDs from across Europe for use in identity proofing, authentication, and signing. And with over 120 identity data sources for retrieving real-time data to determine risk and strengthen your AML, KYC, and KYB processes, as well as streamlining onboardings, for example, with the use of address lookups. And all of this, of course, is with security and compliance at the core of everything we do. We are a qualified trust service provider, as well as a qualified timestamp authority. In addition, we are ISO 27001 and SOC 2 certified. Now, an intro into Mint, Signicat Mint, the new product that we are showing you today. So Signicat has and will always cover all of these needs with APIs. But that, of course, means that you need developers. And often these developers are not available. Either they are busy working on your core business, or scheduling conflicts means what you need today won't be available until next year. And this brings us to Signicat Mint. For when you need to build out your end user journeys, such as onboarding flows, but your developers are simply busy doing something else. Signicat Mint is our no-code visual builder to design, build, and deploy end user journeys, where you can drag and drop your way to secure end user journeys. Signicat Mint is 4 modules from a high-level perspective. First, the visual builder, where you drag and drop Signicat components onto a canvas. Second is the journey manager, where you get a full overview of all the end user journeys you've created. Third, the insight module, where you get detailed insights into the end user journeys like conversion and drop-off rates. And finally, the flow engine. This is the backbone of Mint that handles all of the orchestration and automation across all of the workflows. And now, just to give you a bit of an overview of our vision for the product, and then we'll show you what is available today. So building automated onboarding workflows, that is the core of the system. And orchestrating this together and doing this in a no-code, low turnkey solution type of way, that is the core of the system. But in addition, we're also bringing in best practice templates. So these are use cases for certain regions and industries where you can quickly start with a template and go from there. Analytics, this includes insights into conversion rates, drop-off rates, error occurrences, etc., where you can use all of this data to improve your processes. Customer branding, this is where you can add your own brand, including logos, colors, and subdomains. Journey management, where you're getting real-time data and a full overview of all the end-user journeys. And callback functionality, a best practice for calling back users when they've exited a onboarding, for example, in the middle of the flow. In terms of what is included today, it is our EID hub for exposing EIDs from across Europe, ID, document, and biometric verification, 130 risk and identity data sources, our digital evidence management service for long-term and secure storage of results, and our form product allowing you to build out any type of web form for retrieving info from end users. And coming soon, electronic signatures, sealing capabilities, and our secure share functionality, allowing you to share sensitive content securely. And all of these items that I just last mentioned should be available within the next month. And typical use cases that we would use a product like this for, of course, designing onboarding flows, covering know your customer, know your business type of scenarios, customer due diligence flows, designing authentication workflows, as well as signing workflows, forms or questionnaires, and also, of course, redesigning existing workflows. And now on to our live demo. So over to you, Robin.
Thank you, Gavin. Okay, so I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so first of all, I'm planning to show how a flow or how a use case could look like for our end users or for the customers of our customers. And so I've created a typical use case here, and this specific use case is to verify board members in housing associations and cooperatives. They are regulated or are in the regulated space, and they have some requirements to follow the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So so I will just take you through it, and then I can show you how we built it. So first, when I press start, I will be forward directly to do authentication. And then I'll just So what happens now is that we did the authentication, and we were able to extract information from the authentication, my name, for example, and you can see that it's set as read-only. So, and we also extracted the date of birth. So it's possible to set both of them to read-only, or if you would like to, still be able to keep them changed, that's possible as well. And what Gavin mentioned here before is that we support custom domains. So you could typically have application that could be application.mybank.com, for example. And I will just, so in this use case here, I'm just asking for some contact details to start with. And I'm also asking about the organization number where I'm applying to, where I would like to join. What's next? So what happened now in the background is that we did a lookup towards the company registry in Norway. So we retrieved the name of the housing association, the organization number, and also registration date. But you could, of course, add more information that is available in the registry. We also extracted information about who is in the board already. We can see the board leader and the board members that is available. And this information, as mentioned, is extracted from the Bonusens registry. So what I've created here now is a flow with two different paths. So are you already registered? If you are already registered in this list, you could select no, and then you will end the application process. If you select yes, then you will end the application process. And if you're not registered, you will continue the process. So what happens here is just some answers that we have added into the form. So we could add details that I own more than 5%. I own 500 shares. And maybe there are some close family members, and you could add that as well. So let's see here. And then you can have activities where you can upload files, for example. So of course, all this, everything here is possible to adjust. And then the next step, we are asking if it's a PEP or you have any related persons that could be a PEP. And if they are, then we could have logic within the form that explains you where you can explain why they are a PEP, for example. We could also add a component that were used in the step before, and that is to upload any more documentation. So we'll just select no for this time. And what happens now is that I will just get the confirmation that it's ready to be submitted. And in the background, we also did a PEP and sanction check based on the authentication that was provided in the first step. And what happens now is that I'm being forwarded to a success page. That could be typically be a login page on your side, or another or a typical success page. And what happened also here is that I got a text message on my phone that everything was successful. So what I will do now is that I will log into our DTP dashboard. Oh, sorry. I will log into our DTP dashboard. And within this dashboard, I'm able to access Mint, the Mint product. And so this is just a Mint overview. And what you can see here is some recent flow I have created, some insights based on the flows, and also some shortcuts to the different modules of Signicat Mint. So what we did this use case that I have prepared. So I will just show you again. So here you can see that we did the authentication. We have a form here where we ask about contact details and organization number. we do a row lookup and a company lookup, and then we pre-populate that information into a form with the within this form where the company data is displayed. And then depending on the answer you selected, right, if you are already on the list or not. If you are already on the list, we will end the application. And if you are not on the list, we will continue the flow. And then we will do a ownership lookup. You will fill in the form for UBOs and PEP. And then we will also do a PEP and sanction check. And then if I scroll down a little bit more, we will then have the submit application, and you will be send the SMS and then have the user redirected to a success page. So what I will do now is that we can just do a small deep dive into how the different activities looks like. So, for example, authentication is it's our authentication API that we have enabled within Signicat Mint. So this is more as a configuration. So when I click on this, I can select here which attributes I would like to extract from this authentication API or Signicat's authentication API. And you can also configure it you can also set language. And what I've done here is that I just pre-selected Norwegian Bank ID, so to shorten the step. And then if we just click on this one, we will get the overview of the form. So we could easily remove things, date of birth, for example, and we can drag and drop new input fields, and we can add date of birth again. And this time I can make this one read-only, so I will activate that. And then we can also pre-fill this. So we are getting this information from the authentication process. So you can write authentication, or you can just scroll down here. Let's see, I will just scroll down, and you can select date of birth. And what happens now is that this one is getting pre-filled. I will just save it. So this is what you could do, for example, and you can add and remove. There is different input fields. We have radio buttons, checklists, file uploads, and so on. If we continue, we have this is activity where we do the lookup. So it's also a configuration similar to the authentication. So we just can skip that. We can take a look how it could look like in this step, for example. So this is the organization lookup towards the bonus registry. So what we have just entered here in the configuration is NO, and that stands for Norway. And this organization ID is what we need to actually do the lookup. So we are saying that we would like it to be pre-filled from the second step where we ask for the organization number. So we could easily just remove that, and then you can, if there is a new input field you would like to add, then you can just enter it. So what happens now is that on the second step where we enter the organization number, we will then have the information to be able to do the check towards the company lookup API. So, and the next step in the process as a form, we have this general company information. So here you can see that we are pre-populating a text area with the name from the Brønnøysund's Registrar, the organization number, and the registration date. And it works the same. I just press here, and then I can add more fields that I would like to pre-fill with from a lookup or authentication process or any other process, any other earlier process in the flow. And here we have just created this is a liquid expression, and what we are seeing here is just that we would like to have the list of all the board members and where we exclude the CEO. This will in the future be much easier to do as a customer, and it will be pre-configured as a action within this forms. And what I can show you now is I can show you that you can see that here is a logic. So depending on what you answered here, it selects the way you should go in this tree, or which branch you should go to. So I can, if I select this one, the conditional step, you can see that I would like to look on the company details and on the question, are you already registered in the list above? If it equals no, then it will go this way and skip these two steps. So and then after that, when you continue the flow, we will do a lookup towards T rank for the ownership, and if there is any response there for a housing association, then this will be displayed in this form. And yeah, it's the same functionality as I showed you in the earlier forms. But here we have the file upload, for example, and input options as tables. You can also, what we did is that if you answer or if you check any of the boxes here, we have added logic that this three inputs will be visible or be displayed. So for example, if I just mark this one, we can see that this will be shown on condition if it equals any of the selected above. And the next step was the form, where we just ask about the, if they are PEP or not, and you can easily just add upload input and save it. Oh, sorry. You need to select PEP type to support. And in the next, and then after that, we will just do the PEP and sanction check based on the authentication, and that's just a configuration. And then the different actions as the submit application, and we are sending a SMS. You could also send an email, and where you can pre-fill the information from the form that has been retrieved, or from any EID authentication or a lookup and a message. And yeah, and this works for email as well. And then the last point here was our redirect. So yeah, I think how are we looking on time here?
We've been live, Robin, for 24 minutes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. One thing we could maybe show as well is that is the Journey Manager. So this is the first version of the Journey Manager. But what you can see here is that when a customer or end user has completed a journey, you are able to go into that journey, or you're able to get data from that journey. You can get the status that is finished, which version, and this is the identifier. In the future, this could it could display the company name or the person that completed the flow. And if you click on it, you can see the different steps. And if you click in the next version, and when you click on any of these steps, you will be able to get the detailed data that was retrieved from that step. And then we have some details on the journeys, and then everything is structured as a structured data. You will also be able to export all this information as a PDF, but everything will of course be able to be extracted to our REST API endpoint. Okay, I think maybe I'm done.
Great, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Gavin. That was an amazing, informative session. As mentioned, we have lots of questions which are coming from the audience. I'm going to pick a few at random. Let's see. Oh, first one, which is quite a recurring theme. First question is, when can I get started with Signicat Mint?
Yeah, the answer is now. And I'll just change my slide if that's still on the screen. And there is a link here if you scan this to get started.
Yep, fantastic, great. Yep, scan that. That will take you straight through to the Signicat Mint request a demo page. Excellent. Okay, second question is, let's have a look. When will signing be available?
Yeah, so I think Gavin mentioned it in one of his slides, but we will have that available before the end of October. That's our aim, at least.
Very cool. So not long at all.
Nope.
So let's pick up one more. Let's look at the time. Yeah, we've got time for one more question. I just want to add actually that all the questions that we haven't answered, we will follow up on after the webinar. So let's have a look. Is there any opportunity to trigger a flow through the REST API endpoint?
Yeah, so this is something that we are working on, and this will be functional. So this is typically the use cases where you have a CRM or ERP system where you have a button on a customer profile where you want to trigger some kind of use flow, for example, a signing process or a due diligence process where you need to get the data, get the information updated from a customer.
Excellent. Great. I think we will bring it to a close there as we're just about to reach the 30-minute mark. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate your time. You will all be receiving an email with the recording and also the link to sign up for a demo or have a chat with Robin and ask any other questions that you wanted to ask. So thank you.